Good morning. I want to give you this word so that you can take this along with you today and think about it. And this word is simply this: don't be so hard on yourself. Understand that you are in this continuous transitional phase, no matter where you are in life, whether you're 1 year old or 100 years old. If you still breathing and you alive and you above the ground, then you are still transitioning. I thought about this when I was just kind of thinking about transitions in the Bible and how God always had someone in place when someone was either dying or someone rebelled against him. I thought about Saul when he was disobedient to God. God told him to kill all of a particular tribe or enemy, and Saul didn't do that. And sometimes when God gives us orders and when he tells us to go in on something, sometimes it's because he sees that there is something in that enemy that we relate to on the inside, or he can find one of those characteristics of the enemy inside us. So he told Saul to kill this particular group of tribes, and he didn't do it. So because of this disobedience and because of other things that he did, God replaced Saul with David. And the same thing with Moses. There was this transition because Moses was disobedient to God. He replaced, after Moses died, Moses with Joshua. And then I go on and I was thinking about Abraham. I said, Lord, Abraham, he wasn't really replaced with anyone. And God says, you're right. Because if you think about it, he says, I did transition Abraham, but I transitioned him from Abram to Abraham. The name changed from exalted father to the father of the multitude. But see, in that moment when he transitioned that name, or transitioned Abram to Abraham, it wasn't an automatic switch. It wasn't in that moment that Abraham got his little certificate and say, you're good to go, now go out into the world. That transition took time. And I'm telling you this because sometimes we go to church, we do all the things that God asks us to do, and we still don't see with our physical eyes the results that we're looking for. And then Satan comes in and he gets you to start questioning yourself and questioning God. But what you really don't know is underneath, in the roots, you are changing. You are becoming better. And those roots eventually are going to come up. See, along the way, Abraham had a big test. He had to sacrifice, or what he thought in that moment was he was going to have to sacrifice his son, Isaac. But what I think in that moment was this big transition for Abraham. Remember, he's becoming more and more like God. God says that person that you could potentially worship in your life, we're going to have to kill that. And the problem wasn't Isaac. The problem was inside Abraham. He wanted to make sure that was gone. He wanted to make sure that all his faith, all his worship, all his loyalty, all his love was to God first, and then everything else. So what is it that God could be working on you and on me with today. Helping us to become more and more like him, to trust him, to believe in him, to honor him, to put him at the head of our lives. Because those things that we decide to deal with in the moment is what's going to help us to become a better person. So don't be so hard on yourself. Know that today is your opportunity to look at yourself in a brand new way and say, I am becoming more and more like Christ. God is working on me. I hope that this message bless you. Y'all be blessed and have a great day.